Bani, and I'm the host of the Technology for Obama Innovator Series, and I'm here with Judy Estrin. And we've been having a discussion about innovation and her thoughts on business and advice she had. But I want to spend a little bit of time talking actually about this coming election. And we've talked a lot about innovation and the importance of innovation for us as a country. Why do you think that President Obama is a critical part of having that culture of innovation?
Okay, so before I do that, I'm going to say one other thing, which is I am a supporter of President Obama partly because of his ideas about innovation, and it was actually as I was writing my book, the 2008 election, we were gearing up for that. My book launched in 2008, that it was through those interviews that I became a supporter of him. So it was through thinking through what the country needed that I realized that he was a match for that. But before I go into innovation, I'm going to say there's so many other issues, whether it's women's health or social issues and other reasons to support the president, that I just want to say that it's not just one issue that we should go here. But when it comes to innovation, I think that from his State of the Union addresses to what the Office of the CTO, the Office of Science and Technology Policy, and putting in a CTO, to the forums that have been done, initiated by this administration, there's been continual demonstration of understanding that innovation is a process, is that you have to invest in research and science, that you need to invest in education, that innovation doesn't just happen, and that the government does have a role. Government is not the problem, is not the full solution, but it's not the problem. And everything that I've seen out of this administration is the understanding that the role of government is to be a spark, to spark innovation, and then provide a support, a foundation in the country to allow a culture of innovation to happen and free enterprise to happen. And that takes support. Interestingly enough, something like regulatory issues is very controversial. Does it stifle innovation? Does it encourage innovation? Well, smart regulation actually encourages innovation, because if you have the right regulation, it give you two different examples. If the FDA did not approve new medicine, then doctors wouldn't use it. They wouldn't know that it was safe, and you wouldn't be able to come out with it. But you have to have the FDA be up to date with today's methodology for med tech devices and software and medicine. So you need smart regulation, but that's a case where regulation really helps innovation. Regulation can really hurt innovation if you have regulatory or incentives in place that are protecting the status quo. And what you want to do is not protect the status quo. You don't want to protect the existing industries. You actually want to encourage new industries. Energy is a perfect example. And I think this administration has everything been done in 4 years? No, you can't do everything in 4 years, and you can't do everything without legislative movement. But there's a clear understanding, from my perspective, from everybody that I've interacted with, from the president to the different agencies, that these are important aspects of fueling innovation. And I think that this president actually has the right idea. He's often portrayed as having a heavy touch in terms of government, but actually when you look at the policies and the statements put forth, again, whether it's State in the Union or on the website, it actually is light touch, and it is focusing on investments in those areas that industry can't do. Industry doesn't do things, companies can't invest in things that don't benefit their shareholders. So where the government needs to step in is when it's for the good of society and not for the good of a specific company. And education and basic research are two perfect examples of no company is going to invest in that. And if you do not have those two things, you do not have the foundation of innovation.
And you talked earlier that sometimes innovation takes 30 years, and there's quite often a different time horizon for a company versus government
Right.
in terms of their willingness to make a 30-year investment.
Right. And the internet is a perfect example, actually. I was laughing earlier because I think there was an article, I didn't read it, but in the Wall Street Journal this week, claiming that actually the government was not involved in the invention of the internet. And somebody was trying to claim that Xerox invented the internet. Well, they got very confused between the internet and other types of networking. But the blogosphere and the email lists that I'm on are all a fury with people saying, wait, you're wrong. The government lit the spark in the beginning, funded a lot of the research along the way, and there were various places where government funding in research were just critical in terms of bringing us the internet that we have today. And no one company could have done that. And again, the government doesn't do innovation, except to innovate within government, but the government's role is to provide a spark, to invest where companies can't invest, and then be a consumer, an early adopter of innovative products in order to help get the market going. And so there is clearly a role, and everything I have seen, every discussion shows that the president and his administration actually gets that.
Well, good. Well, it's a real pleasure being here talking to you. And in the next segment, we're going to spend a little time actually talking about your thoughts on innovation in America. So it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks.
Thanks.